If you leave him alone, he will more than likely leave you alone. That's generally the policy of most alligators in the state of Florida. Keep your distance, be respectful, and you've got nothing to worry about. How many of you out there, quick show of hands, have that personal policy in your life? Hey, you know what? Live and let live. You leave me alone, you let me go about my day, do my thing, be respectful, I will give you the same courtesy. However, if you get too close, if you're disrespectful, if you want to go mess around where you got no business messing around, you're going to have an event in your life that will be memorable, if not short. Because these animals, while they look like stationary logs that could possibly be dead, when they decide they're going after something, they are amazingly fast and unreal strong. Very few animals, at least in North America, could escape from a gator this size. Now, what does that have to do with anything? Well, I'll be very honest with you. I was shocked at the speed with which the liberal mainstream media decided to come after not Governor DeSantis, his wife. Early yesterday morning, I got up and did a video for the folks over at the $5 Patreon level, Florida Marquee Patreon channel, that talked about this in depth. I said, pay attention. They are going to go after Casey DeSantis. And they are going to realize that they have opened up a can of whoop ass that they cannot handle. And that's exactly what's happening right now. I posted that video about 10 o'clock in the morning. And then we did a YouTube video that kind of alluded to it yesterday. And within just a few hours, there were articles all over the mainstream media talking about Politico's hit piece, not on Governor DeSantis, but on his wife. I did not think they were this stupid, but real quick, thank you to everyone who continues to join us over at the Florida Marquee Patreon channel. We have 2 levels over there now. We have the $1 level. That's where the vast majority of videos are. There's a handful of videos that I've done for the $5 folks. People came to me and said, hey, can you just create a button for $5 so I can do that instead of going and trying to find the little edit pledge button? No problem. We've done that. But so many have shown up to do that, I figured maybe we should go to a next level. And instead of having training be just at one level, we're going to do training at level 1, but then at the $5 level, we're going to do kind of inside intelligence stuff, next level up. So if you'd like to join us over there, love to have you. People are signing up every day. God bless every single one of you. It gives me the ability to have parity against the censors here. And trust me, based on what I'm looking at with my own analytics, anytime I talk about Governor DeSantis, that's when I get the most redacted. When I talk about Mr. Trump, however, it seems like they want those videos out. It seems like the liberals out in California want Donald Trump to be the candidate. You know why? Because they know they can beat him. They know they can win. They don't think they can beat Governor DeSantis. Now, the author of this attack is a man named Roger Stone. Now, a lot of people have said, oh, Roger Stone, just one of these guys that came on in 2016 just to kind of be part of the thing with Trump. Trump doesn't really avow Mr. Stone. He doesn't really know who he is. That's a total lie. Here's Trump in 2017, I believe, after he had won the election. Here is Donald Trump and Roger Stone going back to about 2009, I believe, 2010. And here is Trump and Roger Stone in the late 90s. And here is Donald Trump and Roger Stone in the early 90s. So we have at least 30 years of history. This is a close friend of Donald Trump's. Now, just real quick, who do you want to be standing with? I'm just going to ask the question outright. Roger Stone came out and compared the First Lady of Florida, Casey DeSantis, to Lady Macbeth. Now, the stupidity of that is that the vast majority of people on the left, those who would oppose Governor DeSantis, won't have a clue who Lady Macbeth is. Why? Because it's Shakespeare. Politico slammed for Casey DeSantis' hit piece invokes Lady Macbeth trope after blasting it for Democrat wives. Now, basically, I'll give you the real quick lowdown. The Shakespearean play Macbeth, there is a Scottish general, Macbeth, him and another general encounter 3 witches. out in the forest, and the witches give them a prophecy that Macbeth will be king, and the other general will have sons that will be king. And when Macbeth's wife gets a hold of this idea, first she's supposed to get promoted to what is it? Thane of Cawdor. And so that happens, and so that makes him believe the prophecy is true. And so the wife eggs him on to kill the king to become king quicker. Now, just real quick, is witchcraft bad? I mean, do you let your kids go out at Halloween and dress like witches or whatever this is supposed to be? Just real quick, if there has ever been in the history of politics, at least in the last 100 years, a woman who was the living embodiment of Lady Macbeth, it isn't First Lady Casey DeSantis, First Lady of Florida. It was First Lady Melania Trump. I mean, the idea was that Macbeth's wife wanted to become queen so badly that she encouraged her husband to kill the king. Well, the only reason Melania at that time, Nouse, had any interest in Donald Trump is because he was a rich, wealthy billionaire. He wasn't even in politics, really. At that time, he had been in politics, but he was on a date with another woman when they met. Believe it or not, he was on a date with this blonde-haired girl, and she had gotten up to excuse herself to the bathroom, and Melania Nouse was there, and she decided to take that opportunity to go introduce herself, and that's how they met. I mean, if there was ever a woman who had her own power in mind when it came to her relationship with her husband, there's no better example. And oh, by the way, I wanted to share this with you. This is from Melania Nouse's own Instagram. Melania Trump, I guess, whatever. Breaking news, Dr. Jill Biden, Mrs. Melania Trump, Mrs. Michelle Obama, Mrs. Laura Bush, Secretary Hillary Rodham Clinton, and Mrs. Rosalind Carter have joined together to serve as honorary chairs of the Women's Suffrage National Monument Foundation. Wow, can you imagine? Can you imagine if there was this kind of a connection with First Lady Casey DeSantis to Laura Bush, to Hillary Clinton, to Jill Biden, to Rosalind Carter, to Michelle Obama? Can you imagine the YouTube videos? Can you imagine the outcry of how, this is very clearly evidence that the DeSantis are in league with the Democrat? But when Melania Nouse does it, Melania Trump does it, it's perfectly fine. This isn't evidence of anything, is it? Also, many of you took an issue with this quote from the First Lady of Florida, where she said, no matter what you're going through in life, no matter how hard it seems when your back is against the wall, pick yourself up off the ground and fight. Fight like hell. God is great. God is good. Hope is alive. Don't let the bastards win. Casey DeSantis, First Lady of Florida. Well, some said, well, that's not a real quote from her. It was a paraphrase quote from conversation she had with her father. That's actually not true. And if you don't think so, we'll play it for you because we covered this live. It was May of last year, actually. It was May 11th of last year, so about 53 weeks ago. We covered this in a live right here on this channel when she said it. That's why I created the picture. So if you'd like to hear for herself, listen up.
Fortunate to have the best First Lady in all 50 states. And you know, they said it was a DeSantis Day dinner, and I didn't know if they meant me or her, so I figured I would bring her along with me. So let me invite the First Lady of Florida.
Well, Governor, I don't know if this sounds very First Lady-like, but damn, it feels good to be here. Let me say this. No matter what you're going through in life, no matter how hard things seem like they are, no matter how hard it feels like you have to pick yourself off the ground or you feel like your back is against the wall, fight. Fight like hell. Never, ever give up. Never, ever back down. I am a testament that God is great and God is good and hope is alive. I'll say this in closing, something that my dad says to me all the time, ever since I was very little. He would call me and he would say on the phone, he'd say, Casey, have faith and don't let the bastards win. God bless you. God bless you for your prayers. God bless our great governor of Florida. God bless Florida and God bless the United States of America.
So there you have it. I hope I got the audio better this time. Last year when we covered this, it was an hour and 12-minute long live that we talked about other things. My version of it, the audio here is terrible. I hope I got it better this time. It wasn't really great to pick up to begin with, but that's where the quote came from. That was right after she had gotten declared cancer-free. This is the reality right now. I mean, you can talk about whatever ginned-up poll that Donald Trump... I thought Donald Trump didn't trust polls. I thought he spent almost a year telling us that all polls are fake and you can't believe any polls no matter what. Is all of a sudden now quoting polls from liberal media, cherry picking them, showing him leading by something ridiculous like 62-17. There are many, many other state polls that have it almost neck and neck. But of course, Donald Trump is going to share those with you. And this is before DeSantis has even started a campaign, before he's even declared. This is from all the way last June. 6/16/22, Ron and Casey DeSantis, formidable couple, are spooking Donald Trump. Casey DeSantis, the X factor in Florida governor's inner circle. You know, this is the one thing that not a lot of people get. And maybe it's just where I come from, the way I was raised. I know not everybody was raised in a Christian household. You can fundamentally disagree with someone and maybe not even like them, and you can still respect them because it says a lot more about you than it does about them. When we had the issue with the building collapse, the Bidens came down. And even though Ron DeSantis is fundamentally 180 degrees diametrically opposed to everything that Joe Biden is doing in the country, and has said so multiple times, they handled themselves with grace and dignity, and they respected the Bidens while they were here. See, I mean, maybe that doesn't hold value for you. Okay. That's fine. It does for me. It does for me. You can disagree with someone without being completely disagreeable. You don't even have to like them. Maybe they're off-putting, and you can still maintain a sense of, we called it military bearing at the time when I was in. You can maintain military bearing, a state of decorum, esprit de corps, not lowering yourself to certain things. It's an incredible contrast. It really is, to what is and has been for a long time well-documented, horribly lascivious, selfish behavior by this guy. And make no mistake, this guy started it. Governor DeSantis and his wife said absolutely zero negative things about Donald Trump or his wife or Donald Trump's associates. Donald Trump has set out his attack dogs. Guess what? You come after Florida, I don't care whether you have attack dogs or not, you're going to get the teeth. And I want to leave with these images, I really do, because it's nauseating. If there were pictures like this of Governor DeSantis if he had grown daughter, and you watch the hand positions and the body language of how he behaves towards his own kid, it's nauseating and disturbing that anybody, regardless of political affiliation, regardless of belief, would believe that this man would be an example to say, hey kids, you know what, you want to lead the country, you want to lead us as a constitutional republic, you want to see, what a man is, what a leader is. This? I mean, look at this picture for just 1 second. If you didn't know who these people were, you would see a man, his girlfriend, what looks like his girlfriend's mother, and maybe her little brother from left to right. But what do you see? You see a man, his daughter, and then his wife, and then his wife holding their kid. Nope. Sorry. I'm sorry. There are just some lines you don't cross. And if these are your lifelong friends, lifelong associates going all the way back, Hillary Clinton, lifelong associate, Bill Clinton, lifelong associate, Epstein, Maxwell, lifelong friends and buddies and pals. This is who you think's going to save America in 4 years? Truly. It's going to be a clinic, a masterclass on how to handle people like this with grace and civility. She used to be a TV newscaster, so she knows all their tricks. She knows all their games. And Governor DeSantis, well, I think people might have forgotten how he absolutely destroyed every reporter that tried to take him down. During the whole 2020 thing, they tried to lie about him. They tried to make up all sorts of stuff about him. And he absolutely killed him without getting personal. He maintained a level of decorum that absolutely wonderful to watch. And you can go back to the live section of the Florida Maquis channel and go back through 21 and 22 and watch all of those lives over again, where he's doing the press conferences and people try to corner him and he just annihilates them. Wait until Casey DeSantis gets a hold of him. She's going to throttle him. She's going to kill him. And that's why they're shadow banning all the videos I do now that talk about Governor DeSantis. And they're promoting, go look at the numbers. Go to the Florida Maquis page and look at the numbers. I've got a Trump video that I did about a week ago. It's got almost 30,000 views. This one will be lucky to get 6 or 7. That's how bad the shadow banning is for Governor DeSantis. Leave us alone. Let us alone. And we'll leave you alone. There's nobody out there that can say that we started this. But we're going to finish it. So, once again, God bless Casey DeSantis. God bless Ron DeSantis and their family. Would love to have you join us at the Florida Maquis Patreon channel. It's only $1 a month, even less if you sign up for an entire year. Fully refundable first 90 days. No questions asked. Same thing with the $5 level. If you want to sign up for an entire year at the $5 level, you get a 10% discount there too. I think instead of 60, it's like 54, something like that, for the entire year. So anyway, would love to have you. Everybody who signed up, God bless every one of you. Have a wonderful weekend. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you guys next time.